Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Jules.
And welcome to Just Reddit. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Just Reddit. Welcome back to another episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit.
I have popcorn kernels in my teeth.
Welcome back to another episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit. We're Jordan and Jules, and we're just reading that.
And I have popcorn kernels.
And welcome back to another episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel like it's been forever since we recorded. Sorry about missing the other week.
It was my fault.
I was going to try to make an excuse, but she's owning up to it. Yeah, it was all Jules' fault.
I passed all my finals.
Woo! Yes, you are looking at two graduates.
Almost graduates. It doesn't count until we walk across the stage.
Yeah. We're recording Wednesday. She walks across tomorrow, Thursday, and then I'm June 1st.
That'd be lit.
Yep. But, Jules, what do we have on the agenda for today?
The trusty, good old Am I the Butthole?
Perfect.
Can't go wrong.
Yes. Everybody, listen up. I want you to drop your own verdicts down in. Dude, actually, shout out. Okay.
What? Not the laugh.
Shout out to French Waffle 9715 because they've been commenting on our video. So French Waffle.
Who is that?
I don't know. French Waffle, we love you.
They said, I love how Jules basically reads my mind. I got you.
But they have commented on multiple videos. So I just want to personally shout out French Waffle 9715. We love you and we appreciate you.
And comment down below if you're actually French. Like, I'm curious, where are you from? Or don't tell your...
Comment down below if you're actually a waffle.
Comment down below your exact social security number. No, don't do that.
And the numbers on the front of your parents' credit card and the 3 magic numbers on the back. But anywho.
CVC? CVV?
Security number.
The security code.
Yes. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and start us off. This was posted by Tat Drama 96. Am I the a-hole for calling my sister cruel for her tattoo idea? Sis is 28. I'm 26 male. My sis, N, has always had a strained relationship with our parents, especially my mom. I'm clearly not privy to the reasons because things are fine with me and my parents. When N went to college, she met her creative writing professor as a freshman, and they got close immediately. They would do a lot together and worked closely on a few different writing projects. N never specifically said this, but it was obvious to anyone who saw them interact that they had a substitute mother/daughter type relationship, which hurt my mom a lot to see. I always thought she'd grow out of it or that professor would move on, but 10 years later, they are still very close. About a month ago, the professor died unexpectedly and N was devastated. She was really depressed over the holidays, which of course was all in front of my mom and was a difficult reminder that N loved the professor as a mother way more than she ever loved my mom as a mother. She still talks to my parents about stuff and don't fight or anything, but N is very distant and doesn't tell them anything about her life beyond the bare minimum. My mom tried to comfort N, but N was doing her distance thing and didn't want comfort. Something unfortunate that happened to N is that when she got the call that she first died, she was brewing tea. And in the shock of the news, she spilled boiling water on her arm, which burnt her kind of badly on the wrist. I was thinking the burn was like on the borderline of a 2nd or 3rd degree and definitely still looked pretty rough during the holiday. N said it was especially hard because in addition to the physical pain, every time she looks at it, she is reminded of the moment she found out the professor died, which I totally get. I was on FaceTime with N and she said she talked to her tattoo artist friend who said that the burn should be able to heal well enough to get a tattoo over it. And then excitedly told me about the idea of which type of flower the professor gave her a bouquet for her undergrad graduation. My mom was so embarrassed that day because she didn't get N flowers, but the professor did. And N was parading them around so happy, and it was a reminder of the connection. I guess N and the professor exchanged flowers for every special occasion like birthdays, etc. So Now she wants to get a decent-sized tattoo of a highly visible spot of something that will remind everyone of the professor. I told N that this seems really cruel to my mom, who already feels cast aside, and like she's in exile from N. And that's without the consent or the constant permanent reminder. N kind of scoffed and said, in quotes, "I can't believe you think you have the right to tell me not to do this," end quote. Called me a donkey and hung up. And is still not talking to me except for a very brief text saying congrats for the promotion I got. My parents aren't commenting. My dad said I should have just kept quiet even though he agrees, and my mom made no comment but seemed grateful I stood up for her. I feel like I was just being protective of my mother, but am I the a-hole?
Okay, wait, read me again the reaction. Like, what did they say about the tattoo?
So,
did they say you can't get this?
The brother said...
It's the brother that's writing this.
The brother is writing this
Okay.
about the sister.
okay.
And the sister has the relationship with
Right.
the professor. The brother said, I told N that it seems really cruel to my mom, who already feels cast aside and like she's from exile from N. And that's without the constant permanent reminder.
You're a little bit of a butthole. Listen, you can't be telling people what sentimental tattoos they can and can't get. Like, that relationship with the professor that your sister had has nothing to do with your mother. Like, and so their issues aside, like, that's their problem. Like, that has nothing to do. It sounds like your mom's a lot projecting.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very honorable of you to step up for your mother, but that's not your relationship to fix.
Yeah.
That's up to them. That's up to your mom going to your sister and then fixing it. Like, you know, very commendable that you're trying to help, but you're doing more harm than good.
And it sounds that, like, that, the anger towards the professor and their relationship comes a lot from, like, jealousy. But again, we don't know enough.
Yes.
But yes, you can't tell people what tattoos they shouldn't.
The top comment was, what you have described is the golden child and the scapegoat child. You being the golden child. N didn't get what she needed from her mother and was incredibly fortunate that another stepped in and took on that role. Take your blinders off and see. Ask your sister if she felt second best growing up. And be open and silent. When and to what she tells you. Yes. Yes, the a-hole. Edit. So many scapegoats checking in. Many hugs to you all. Oh, darn. But yes, the consensus of the Reddit is they are the a-hole. Yeah. I would give the brother, I'd say a 2 out of 5.
I agree.
Because
maybe a 1.5, honestly.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
No.
And it's coming from good intentions, but like, we've read worse.
Way worse.
we've had a few.
We've seen some buttholes in our day.
Yeah, poor hamster.
Well, that came out wrong.
Terrible. What, Jules?
Nobody clip that. Nobody clip that.
That's going on the YouTube Shorts page, right? Jules has seen a lot of buttholes in her day. Yeah, that's the video that takes off.
That's the video that blows up.
Jesus Christ! But all right, Jules. Oh my Lord! Can you?
Shut up! He always wants to make fun of me because I like to blow it up.
Blow what up? The buttholes you see?
I want to smack that out of your hand. Oh. Got it. Okay. Yep. Am I the butthole for not siding with my husband after my daughter started giving him the silent treatment over a paternity test? Throw away, so this isn't connected to my main account. My daughter, 16, is about 16 weeks pregnant. The father is her 19-year-old boyfriend who she's been with for 2 years. I wasn't on board with the relationship at first because of the age gap. She just turned 14, he was already 17. It didn't sit right with me, but my husband, her stepdad, talked me into it. He's been friends with the boyfriend's family forever and kept saying how he was a respectful kid from a good home and that we'd just be stirring up unnecessary problems if we got in the way. I let it go, but I'm starting to really regret that now. So a couple months ago, she comes to us and says she's pregnant. I was shocked. Yeah, I tried to stay calm. I told her we'd figure it out. My husband, though, immediately questioned if the baby was even the boyfriend's. Didn't even hide it. He just launched right into accusing her of lying. His reasoning was that they couldn't have done anything. That would have been illegal, and my daughter's boyfriend is not stupid enough to risk that, and his parents raised him better than that. When I pressed my husband by asking about what if they really did have aggressive hugging, he simply replied, even if they did it, he knows that the boyfriend would have used I don't know what we can say, protection, because he's responsible. My daughter obviously denied and cried doing so, but he wouldn't let up. Told her that if she didn't agree to a paternity test, he wasn't going to support her at all. That turned into a massive fight between us. I said he was being cold and cruel, and he said I was letting her manipulate me. We argued constantly for weeks. He kept acting like I was betraying him by not siding with him, but I was just trying to protect my kid. We had to wait until my daughter was further into her pregnancy until we could do an actual test, and it was a very dark time for my daughter. She completely shut down, barely left a room, only seemed to eat for the baby, barely spoke. I caught her crying so many times, and once overheard her telling her boyfriend maybe she shouldn't give the baby up for adoption. Maybe she should give up the baby for adoption because no one believes in me anyway.
Oh my God.
That wrecked me. Meanwhile, I've been doing everything I can to show her I do believe her. I've been taking her to her appointments, checking in on her constantly, just trying to be steady even when I don't have all the answers. I've never heard that. Doesn't it sound...
Steady even?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Just trying to be steady even when I don't have all the answers.
Just trying to be steady even when I don't have all the answers.
I thought that was the saying. Never mind. Ciao. Anyways, I know I haven't been. I made sure it's the lack of the comma. But I'm sure she knows she's not alone. Her boyfriend and his family have been supportive the whole time. No drama, no accusations. They said if the baby's his, they'd help with everything, and the boyfriend made it clear he wants to be involved and happily cooperated with the test. The test results finally came back, and yep, the baby's the boyfriend's, just like she said from the beginning. She didn't yell, didn't rub it in my husband's face, she just went quiet. And ever since, she's been completely distant with my husband. Bare minimum conversations, avoid him when she can. He says she's being disrespectful. I think she's just done trying. And then she actually begged me to let her stay with her dad, my ex, for a while. She was crying, saying she felt like she didn't belong in this house anymore, and that she needed space. That one hurt, but I said yes. Her dad and his girlfriend have been amazing about it, honestly. They didn't hesitate. They told her she'd always be welcome, that they would help her however they can. They've gone out of their way to make her feel safe and wanted. I can't really be mad at her for wanting to go over there right now. It's what she needs. Now my husband's mad at me, saying I'm letting her treat him like garbage, and that I failed him as a partner by not backing him up. We got into it again. He said I've been undermining him for months. I told him that maybe if he hadn't treated her like a liar from day one, she wouldn't be shutting him out right now. That maybe he should try being a father instead of a prosecutor. He didn't like that. So now he's sulking, and I'm tired. Am I the butthole?
No, but that step-husband is, or stepfather
Who's
is.
not the father?
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, why is he such up this boyfriend and their family's butt? That he thinks that, that kid would never do that. He would never do that. They're dating. You don't think they're going to have aggressive hugging? Come on.
I understand, asking for a test, but just, to the extent and the extreme, that was...
When it's not your business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, she's pregnant. Does it matter?
And then at the end, when he starts grilling the mom, you weren't with me.
That's her kid, bro. What do you expect her to do?
All right, that stepfather,
He said,
4 out of 5 from me. That's Jordan's score, 4 out of 5.
Oh, top comment. This is spicy. I agree with this, though.
Oh, boy.
So you've allowed your husband to treat your daughter like this for months. He's a butthole, but you are too. If you're not careful, she's not going to want to be in your life either. He chose his friend's family over your daughter. You're choosing to stay with him, even if it means she moves out. Not cool. Very not cool. You're the a-hole. Oh, shoot. Shoot, that is kind of true. Yeah, like, what were you doing? Like, I get, like, yeah, you should have put him in his place. Been like, yo, you keep talking to my daughter like that, you can hit the road, Jack.
Besides the daughter, everybody sucks.
No, except the husband, or the boyfriend's family, too.
Yeah, boyfriend's
They're
family
cool.
and that ex-husband.
Yeah.
Go back to him.
Everyone else, yeah.
I don't know what happened between y'all, but go back to him.
Well, he has a girlfriend, but maybe it could be like a
Throuple.
Yeah, throuple type situation.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, everybody sucks. Boyfriend is 4 out of 5. You know, I'm talking right now, so that you checking for popcorn and staying in there. Chat, comment down below. Do you have popcorn in your teeth?
I do not. I just checked.
All right. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one. This is by hairbear_throwaway. Am I the a-hole for giving my daughter a stuffed bear filled with human hair? Whoa!
I saw this one. I was like, ooh, I was kiki.
My 33 male, wife 31 female, and I just had our daughter, our first child, 3 months ago. My family has a tradition where the firstborn will get a special stuffed animal. I got one from my mother when I was born, who got one from her mother, who got one from her father, and so on and so on. The reason that it's special is because it's stuffing made from their hair, from their parents' hair. The way it works is that once a child is old enough to start getting their hair cut, their parents will save as much of that hair as they can. When the child becomes a parent themselves, the new grandparent will use the saved hair to make a stuffed animal to give to the baby. The hair in the toy represents the new parent's connection to the child and is tangible, and is a tangible measure that shows that they'll always be close by. The care taken by the new grandparent in collecting the hair and using it to make the toy represents the child's connection to the family history and is a tangible measure that shows the extended family will always support them. In short, the stuffed animal is a way of connecting the new life to their new family. After my daughter was born, my mother spent a lot of time making a stuffed bear from scratch to fill it with my childhood hair. She just finished last week. Since my leave from work is just about over, I was excited to give my daughter the bear and shared the tradition with my wife. I thought she would think it was sweet, but she blew up at me. Instead of liking the bear, my wife said it was gross and disgusting and she wouldn't have it around my daughter, or her daughter, I should say. I told her that it's our daughter, not hers, and that there's nothing disgusting about family tradition. She said it was unhygienic. I told her that it's not. The hair is clean and well preserved. We argued and eventually she said that if I ever put that thing near her daughter, she would throw it in the trash. I was shocked. This is something that represents decades of my mother's work and planning and generations of my family's history. I told my wife that she is so cruel and callous about something that means so much to me and my family, then she's not the person I thought she was. She just called my family tradition weird and culty. I didn't know what to do. I didn't think my wife was that kind of person. I told my mother about the fight, and now she's feuding with my wife too. My wife then got her family involved before calling me some vulgar names. But am I really the a-hole for wanting to give my special girl her special bear?
Ew, why do you have to add that last line, bro? Listen. This is hard because this is where, like, diversity comes in and people have different, like, heritages, have different rituals and routines, and when that conflict...
Are you telling me you don't want a bear filled with your parents' hair?
I do not. I'm glad Jamie never gave me that. But you gotta also see your wife's side. That is, in fact, kind of gross and unhygienic. I'm not gonna lie.
So, perusing through the subreddit, the consensus is no a-holes here.
Yeah.
People are saying that they understand that it's emotional, but it's pretty effing weird. somebody says everyone sucks here, you can't surprise your partner with family traditions, especially one where you give a baby a wad of dead hair.
That's another thing. You should have this conversation before, like, when she was, like, pregnant. Been like, yo, like, my family, we have this tradition. Like, I'm thinking about carrying it on and kind of feeling it out. And then if that's something your wife doesn't want, you kind of have to find a way to compromise or not do it. Like, I'm sorry, but it is kind of weird and unhygienic. Yeah. I don't want to say weird because, like I said, I don't want to, like, call anyone...
weird. It's weird.
I don't want to call anyone...
It's weird. It's weird.
It's a little strange.
It's weird. Yep, strange, a.k.a. weird. Look, all the if you do that, more power to you. I personally don't. And won't.
And marrying someone that doesn't have those same traditions and values, you have to know that that might cause a little friction. And but you were open to that when you married her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You should have married someone the cult.
Everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks. That's the consensus from us. Our apologies.
Am I the a-hole for causing a scene when my sister, 26, stole my pregnancy announcement?
Psych.
My sister, is it Lila, 28 female, and I, 34 female, a bit of an age gap, are both the children of a single mother. Growing up, I was always closer to our mother since we were closer in age and had similar interests. I was also very quiet and well-behaved while my sister was wild. We grew up in the sheltered suburbs, so her behavior wasn't nearly at the level of a lot of kids generally, but it was a point of stress for my mom. Many moons ago, my sister and my ex-boyfriend started a relationship. Oh. I was all right with it since he was my ex-boyfriend in high school. I made a mistake after she got engaged to him, and I made
whoa. The sister is dating
the ex-boyfriend.
OP's
ex-boyfriend. Yeah, her high school boyfriend.
Okay. Sorry.
She said she was cool with it. I made a mistake after she got engaged to him, and I'm not justifying this, but when my ex and I had a moment, I gave in and I slept with him. I immediately regretted it, and my mom, dang, this is a triangle, this is going back and forth. I immediately regretted it and told my mom the morning of crying. She was upset at me, but understood. And when she tried to console my sister, Lil blew up at her and said that my mom was taking my side instead of hers, and was mad that my mom consoled me or whatever. She didn't talk to my mom for a long time after that. Lila is pretty happy now. She got her life together and earns good money. Her husband is rich and she has a cute baby girl. My mom dotes on the baby, and ever since Lila has made up with her, takes Lila's side on everything because she's scared of losing her. I recently found out that I'm pregnant. I currently don't have a job, and I'm living with my best friend. The baby's father will not be in the picture. After the shiz show that was this year, this child is a blessing for me, and I'm really happy and couldn't wait to tell my mom. Yesterday, we were meeting for a picnic in the park, and I was really excited to make my announcement. I had made cupcakes with blue and pink frosting for everyone. Before I could tell anyone, my sister let everyone know that she's pregnant also. She's 5 months along and knows the gender. Everyone was so elated, and I was a bit hurt, but decided to make my announcement as well and revealed my cupcakes. My mom was silent when I told everyone, and when I prodded her, she said that she was worried for me since I don't have a job and she doesn't know how I'm going to survive raising this baby by myself. I started crying and told her that of course she's going to criticize me and compliment my sister, and that the favoritism is starting to show. It really hurt me. My mom got hurt and said it wasn't her intention, and then my stepdad spoke up and said that she was right and it isn't about favoritism since my sister has got everything figured out and he doesn't know if I'm capable of raising a child by myself. I yelled at all of them for underestimating me, and that just because I don't have some fancy job doesn't mean I can't raise my baby. I left in a huff. My dad later called me and said that he's sorry if my feelings were hurt, but that I really ruined the mood of the picnic by asking my mom of her thoughts and ruined my sister's announcement as well. I don't think I'm the a-hole, and I just want to prove it to them. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I made a mistake in the title. My sister's 28, not 26. I thought she did say 28. Oh, she edited it. I guess you can. I think there's also a few typos and grammar mistakes, so sorry. Typos courtesy of my iPhone. Winky face.
Girl, that whole family's messed up.
No, for real.
That whole family is messed up.
Damn, I know, top comment, it says, you the a-hole, you slept with her fiance, and you have the gall to ask whether you're the a-hole? She didn't steal your announcement, you stole hers. She announced it first, and you were jealous of the spotlight, so you stole it. And, damn, this person's passionate. It's not like she purposely stole it from you. Secondly, it makes sense that you'd be worried for a child if their parent didn't have a job or support within the midst of a global pandemic. What is this BS about favoritism? You slept with your sister's fiance. If I was your parent, you wouldn't be allowed at the family gatherings. You'd be disowned on the spot. I can't believe your sister even has the strength to continue the relationship. That's how it was written.
Yeah, literally word for word.
Thank you.
Emotion for emotion.
Yep.
Okay, when Jules read pandemic, I was like, damn, pandemic.
Global
pandemic. This was posted 5 years ago, so it was during the global pandemic.
That is very true, though. Like, why your mom would be worried.
Yeah, well, that was my first thought as soon as you said unemployed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't,
and living with her best friend.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a kid if you're unemployed. And then they go on to say that, oh, this year's been rough. This is a real blessing.
It sounds like she was using the kid as like, oh my god, like, this is my chance. Like, a kid's not like something that like you use as like.
The kid's not a purse. It's not like a bag you
right,
parade
something
around.
You make yourself feel better, like something to prove yourself.
Yeah, or to just show off.
Like, that's a human being, bro.
You know, I'm gonna say, everyone sucks. Not everybody sucks equally. I think in order from worst to least worst is OP, mother, sister.
I don't even... Wait, what did the mom really do, though? We don't have enough information because this is coming from her, and she's saying that her mom is, like, having favoritism for, like, over her sister from her, whatever the frick, you know what I mean? But that's coming from her perspective, and...
Well, still, from what I know, that's how I'd rank them.
Yeah. I don't... Wait, what is... Hold on. I'm kind of confused what happened with this. She didn't really steal your announcement. She didn't know, right?
I don't think she knew.
No, because she came and said it first. She didn't know you were planning to surprise everyone with your cupcakes.
I think it was a coincidence that
literally
they were planning to do it.
Yeah.
At the same time, at the
crazy.
same picnic. Oh well. Sucks to suck. Alright. For the final story, everybody strap in. This is by Sparks Galore. Am I the a-hole for sitting in somebody else's seat? Yes. As someone who has a spot. I have a parking spot at work, and I get so angry anytime somebody parks in my parking spot. It's literally my park.
Why'd you get him started?
Anyhow, my husband and I were at a crowded bar listening to a band. There were a few tables and chairs. Most people were standing, and it was almost shoulder to shoulder. There was an empty seat next to us, which had been completely empty for about 5 minutes. My husband asked the woman if the seat next to it, if he could sit down and save it for whoever was sitting there. He said he would get up as soon as they came back. She put her foot on the seat and said no. Oh. She had a lot of family there, and it was theirs. He just shook his head and said, "Really?" ? We have been there a lot of different times, and a lot of times when the person comes back, says, "No problem, you can sit there for a while." After a few more minutes, she takes her foot off and puts her purse on it. I grab her purse and put it on the table and sit down. She has a fit saying it's hers and calling me an a-hole. I just say thanks and ignored her. She kept it up, and I just kept listening to the band. The person that was sitting there comes back and just stands. I ask her if this was her seat and says, "No problem, I feel like standing anyway." I sat there until we left for 30 minutes later. Yes. You don't grab somebody else's purse.
Yeah, don't.
And if they say the seat is saved, the seat's saved. Like,
literally.
Like, sure, it's empty, but like, you ask someone if you could. This is one of the comments. You asked someone if you could use another person's seat. They said no. So you moved their things and sat there anyway. Even after the occupant returned, your behavior was entitled and inappropriate. And you are the a-hole big time. I grabbed her purse and put it on the table and sit down. You put your hands on her property that contained money, ID, credit cards, etc. And you think that's okay? She has a fit calling me an a-hole. I just say thanks. Why are you asking if you're the a-hole if you are literally saying that you're proud to be the Yeah, all right.
Sounds like this person...
5 out of 5. No.
That would have been crazy. I would have smacked you. With all the things we've heard, with a guy eating a hamster.
I just relate to this so much. I hate when somebody takes my seat. But no, this is more like a 2 out of 5. Just petty behavior.
Yeah. It sounds like they just want validation for their action.
Yeah. They just wanted people to agree.
Yeah.
But no, I'd say 2 out of 5. And then the girl at the table, a victim.
For real.
But anywho, that's all we had for you guys.
Unfortunately.
I know.
Shout out to our subscriber that's supporting us by commenting. Hi.
Do you remember their name?
French Waffle? Frenchy Waffle?
French Waffle what?
0303? 101?
9715.
Sorry.
It's okay, French Waffle. I'm here for you.
Is that your birthday? I feel like that's your birthday.
Well, the year 9715 has not happened yet, so I don't think that's their birthday.
You're from the future.
But anywho, make sure you comment down below which story had you heated the most.
I think we know which one has heated
okay,
the most.
all right. You know what? Oh my gosh. I'm wearing the same shirt as I did last episode. Guys, I promise I do the laundry.
He doesn't wash his clothes.
I promise.
You dirty buffoon.
I'm sorry. I promise I do the laundry. Anywho, comment, subscribe. Thank you for 60 subscribers as of this moment. We love and appreciate all 60 of you. If all 60 of you were in this room, it'd be pretty crowded.
It would, because my room's pretty small.
Yes. But I've been Jordan.
I've been Jules.
And this has been Just Reddit.
Bye. I think I missed.
Oh my god, dude, if you would have hit the lens, I would have cried.
I wouldn't have done anything.